18th June 1936, Talk 204. Maharishi on self-illumination. The I concept is the ego. I illumination is the realization of the real self. It is ever shining forth as I in the intellectual sheath. It is pure knowledge. Relative knowledge is only a concept. The bliss of the blissful sheath is also but a concept. Unless there is the experience, however subtle it is, one cannot say, I slept happily. From his intellect, he speaks of his blissful sheath. The bliss of sleep is but a concept to the person, the same as intellect. However, the concept of experience is exceedingly subtle in sleep. Experience is not possible without simultaneous knowledge of it, that is, relative knowledge. The inherent nature of the self is bliss. Some kind of knowledge has to be admitted, even in the realization of supreme bliss. It may be said to be subtler than the subtlest. The word clear knowledge is used both to denote the realization of the self and knowing the objects. The self is wisdom. It functions in two ways. When associated with the ego, the knowledge is objective. When divested of the ego and the universal self is realized, it is also called vijnana. The word raises a mental concept. Therefore, we say that the self-realized sage knows by his mind, but his mind is pure. Again, we say that the vibrating mind is impure and the placid mind is pure. The pure mind is itself Brahman. Therefore, it follows that Brahman is not other than the mind of the sage. The Mundak Upanishad says, the knower of Brahman becomes the self of Brahman. Is it not ludicrous? To know him and become him, they are mere words. The sage is Brahman, that is all. Mental functioning is necessary to communicate his experience. He is said to be contemplating the unbroken expanse. The creator, Sukha, and others are also said never to swerve from such contemplation. Such contemplation is again a mere word. How is that to be contemplated unless it is divided into the contemplator and the contemplated? When undivided, how is contemplation possible? What function can infinity have? Do we say that a river after its discharge into the ocean has become an ocean-like river? Why should we then speak of contemplation, which has become unbroken, as being that of unbroken infinity? The statement must be understood in the spirit in which it is made. It signifies the merging into the infinite. Self-illumination or self-realization is similar to it. The self is ever shining. What does the I illumination mean then? The expression is an implied admission of mind function. The gods and the sages experience the infinite continuously and eternally, without their vision being obscured at any moment. Their minds are surmised by the spectators to function, but in fact they do not. Such surmise is due to the sense of individuality in those who draw inferences. There is no mental function in the absence of individuality. Individuality and mind functions are coexistent. The one cannot remain without the other. The light of the self can be experienced only in the intellectual sheath. Therefore, vijnana of whatever kind, of object or of the self, depends on the self being pure knowledge.